Welcome to another Construction and Trades virtual series. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Kevin Comerford, and I'll be your host today. I'm with the Construction Advancement Foundation of Northwest Indiana, and we are a union contractor trade association. We represent over 500 contractors working throughout Northwest Indiana. Our contractors primarily work in the industrial, commercial, and heavy highway sectors of the construction industry. However, some of our contractors do some residential, but I would say it's a rather small part of what our contractors primarily do. But we'll kind of get into that a little bit when I'm talking to our guest today. And our guest is Jeremy Adams. Now, Jeremy is the apprenticeship coordinator for the Roofers Local 26 Joint Apprenticeship Training Center. They're located out of Maryville. You should see his contact information on your screen. So if you need to get a hold of Jeremy, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any of your questions after this program, but hopefully we could get all your questions answered today. Just before we begin, I just want to thank the Center of Workforce Innovations and the Northwest Indiana Workforce Board. None of this would be possible without their help. So thank you, Aaron Vanny and Barb Grimsgard, for all your help and everything that you guys do. So I think that's kind of it for my introduction. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and introduce Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad. Glad everybody could join with us today.
So this is the first time me and Jeremy have ever, well, this is the first time I ever saw you. You're relatively new to the apprenticeship coordinator position, but I'm sure you have plenty of experience as a roofer. So do you think you could tell us a little bit about your career background and how you ended up in the roofing trade, and then you know, how you got into the apprenticeship coordinator position?
Oh, not a problem. I'll do what I can. I started roofing when I was 16 years old. It was a summertime job for me. And as I went on, I've done a few other jobs. But anyway, in 2000, I got in with Roofers Local 26, and I've been going good with these guys ever since. The training coordinator spot, I started helping our apprenticeship out about 4 or 5 years ago as an assistant. I would come in just to visit the guys that I'd worked with. And as I was wandering around helping guys out, the man that was instructing at that time said, "Did you ever think think about doing this?" I said, "No, you're crazy. I ain't have nothing to do with that. I'm a worker bee." And he got, pretty simple. It was, "Hey, I need a little help here. I need a little help there. A little bit of training here, a little bit of training there." And he decided to take his career a different direction, and the coordinator's position become available. And that's when I took the reins to help out.
So how long have you been the apprenticeship coordinator now?
I have been the coordinator now for about 7 months.
7 months? Okay.
Yep.
So, okay. So I think people have a pretty good sense of what a roofer does, but you know, they may have the wrong sense. You know, I mean, a lot of people probably think you just do, you know, you shingle roofs, asphalt shingles, architectural shingles. But in actuality, you guys do a lot more than that. I mean, there's, you know, standing seam, there's, you know, flat roofs with membranes. And so maybe enlighten our audience on, you know, maybe the scope of the work that you guys do. And just
myself, I kind of feel roofers, we're a little bit overlooked. Nobody thinks about the roof until their head's getting wet. A lot of people with roofers, they think of their homes. And as you stated, there's the building you're in has a roof on it, be it a school, a hospital, a factory. We do, our contractors, we do have residential that takes care of homes. We also have commercial and industrial. With us, you never really know where you're going to go. It could be somebody's home taking care of a porch, or you could end up going to BP Amico to roof a little power shed. It's a wide variety of situations and places you end up.
So if you had to look at your entire trade and maybe break it down on, you know, what percentage is industrial, what percentage is commercial, what percentage is residential, just off the top of your head, do you have an idea?
There is, off top of my head, no. We do a lot of commercial, and we do quite a bit of industrial. So, but there is
So probably industrial, commercial, or kind of
yeah, probably, yeah, they're probably neck and neck, and
a little less so residential.
yeah, a little less residential. So
Okay, now how about you talk a little bit about your apprenticeship program now? I know you guys are located in Maryville, and you're right off of is it Broadway or Mississippi?
yes,
Is it Broadway?
yeah, it's Broadway.
Broadway. Right over by that Centier Bank over there. I know.
Yes, sir.
Behind it there.
Right between Centier and Credit Union.
And that, yeah, teachers
in that area.
or Sheeton 10 Credit Union, I think.
Yep.
But
our apprenticeship.
talk a little bit about how your program is structured and designed. You know, how many years is it, and what can somebody who gets into the apprenticeship program expect as they're going through the program?
All right, our apprenticeship program. We run a 4-year apprenticeship program. It's all set up with we're all registered DOL program, stuff like that. And we start our apprenticeship classes September, October, and they usually run till April or May. And it's a 4-week a year program. So you'll come in and train for 4 weeks out of the year. We just recently switched over to doing 4 10-hour days, which gives our apprentices a lot more time to get out on the jobs, to work and make a living. We do run a 5-tier pay scale though, which is in a nutshell, every 1,200 hours you take a raise, you make a level change.
Is that 1,200 on the job hours working with a contractor, or is that
It's
schooling?
12 how it's combined.
Okay.
Both. It's a combined hours. So the more you're out there working, the more you put in, the quicker you can move up the food chain, the pay scale. But I've got guys in a 4th-year apprenticeship class who are making full journeyman's wage.
Because they've already completed their $1,200 for all 4 years, or $1,200 for all 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So our program is you get what you put into it.
So you said 4 weeks of schooling each year, and
Yes.
so is it like for first-year apprentices, like say the entire month of November they would go, and then like December would be for second year, or
No, it's
or is it kind of spread out?
it's spread out. It's spread out. Mostly it's kind of like every other month you'll have a class. You know, come to class in. Luckily, I got my schedule out. So let's say our 4th-year apprentices, they'll start in October, at the beginning of October, and at the end of November they'll come back. So it's like a month in between on some of them.
So they're basically going a week at a time, and then the next month they'll go another week, and then the following month another. So, okay, and then you work mostly, or you do the schooling mostly over the colder months, so they could work during the warmer months.
Yep. During the prime roofing time, we want you out there working, making yours, getting your stuff.
And for our audience, that's not too much different from a lot of the other trades. A lot of other trades do that too, where they kind of condense their training in the winter months. So,
Yep.
Okay, and so you know, how about your application process? So, what is the process? Say I wanted to, become a roofer, or I'm interested. What's the first step? Is there an application process, or?
We do have an application. You can apply online through the website, the roofers26.com, or here at the hall in person. In person at the hall, it would be Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to noon, or 8 to noon, or 7 to noon. I'd have to double check that for you, but
I'm
it's
sure.
relatively easy. We don't have very many requirements. Everybody deserves the shot at making a decent living. All we ask is 18 years of age and a valid driver's license. Give everybody a shot, make a good living.
And I imagine that information for applying is on your website too. So if you want to know the times where if you want to go in person, you could probably go to the website and find that information. I think I saw it on there when I looked at your website the other day.
Yeah, I believe it's all up there. I'm sure.
So minimum requirements: reliable transportation, driver's license.
Yep.
Must be 18. Now, can you apply when you're 17? As long as when you start, you're 18?
I would have to. I'd have to check into that for you. Right off the top of my head, I do not have an answer for that one.
So when does your apprenticeship class start for first year? Has it started yet, or does it start in the fall?
I'm just finishing up with last year's apprenticeship classes. They'll be done here. I got second year apprentices coming in next week. It'll finish their training session up, and a down week. And then my first years come in the first week of April, I believe, or May, I believe it is, and they finish up all right at the get-go start of our season.
And then you'll be taking applications all summer, and then that next class will probably start up in the fall.
Yep, our next classes will start up October of 21.
So if somebody's interested in applying, they need to get their application in, say, by end of summer.
Yeah, for next year. Anybody that's looking now, we're actually setting up interviews for Friday. So if they're 18 with a valid driver's license and finishing up or finished up school, looking to get into a trade, they contact me relatively quick. I know it's short notice. I can get them interviewed the end of this week.
So it sounds like yours is a little more loosely defined program than, some of the trades are like strictly on a schedule where
Yeah.
It sounds like you're probably looking to hire some summer help and some.
We're looking to, our contractors looking to bring on a lot of guys this summer. With the way everything's went, I should say, over the last few months, things are starting to loosen up for them. They're getting a backlog of work, and they need manpower. And
so is there any so let's talk a little bit about, the application. You fill out the application. Do you go straight into an interview, or is there any kind of general aptitude test or drug testing or anything like that?
We do participate with BCRC, the BCRC program. It's the drug screening process and whatnot. But it's our interviews are set up once or twice a year. It like you stated, it's kind of loose. We don't like to have a lot of people sitting on the shelf. If you're a member, we want you working. We don't want to have 40 extra people sitting waiting for work. If our contractors don't have the work for people, we don't want to hold, we don't want to keep guys on the shelf, I should say. If you're a member, we want you working, and we do what we can to keep all of our members working. So
the interview process, is that with you, or is that with the trustees that run the?
That's with our JTC trustees. Yes.
Okay, so they're going to be interviewing probably with a group of management folks and a group of labor folks.
Yep. The
Uh,
three, there's 3 labor and 3 contractors. So 3 union representatives and the 3 contractor
Are you
representatives.
able, as the apprenticeship coordinator, are you able to attend those?
No.
No? I was
No,
just going to try to get some dirt on, what kind of questions they might ask.
yeah. Um, it would, from what I've heard, it's all general, like,
Yeah.
how'd you hear
Why do
about
you want to be a roofer?
why you want to be a roofer? Yep.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself,
No, that's it.
kind of thing.
So our guys are our contractors are really, really good guys. Obviously, our trustees are really good guys, and they're easy to get along with. They're not gonna try and beat you down and throw you trick questions and all this other rigmarole. Are you looking for a serious career, willing to work hard and put in long hours, make a good living? That's all they're
Well,
looking for.
I guess that brings me to another question is, what kind of skills are you looking for? Obviously, work ethic you just mentioned. Is there anything else that you kind of look for in a interview candidate or a candidate looking to become a roofer?
It would be somebody who, if you have a question, ask. Do you get things going on your own, self-motivated? You sit back on your heels and wait for somebody else to get something going. They're, obviously we'd prefer the guy to take the first step. Hey, let's get it done. I don't really understand. Ask the question. So
So dealing with roofs, I mean, obviously you're at the top of a building, so there's potential fall hazards there. Now, after an interview, is there any kind of training that an individual might get before you send them out onto the job?
when you go through the interview process, and when and if you are picked up by one of the contractors, the contractor will have their safety orientation with the now employee, and the training will come from them until they start the apprenticeship program. When you start the apprenticeship program with me, that's when I am going to that's when I get my hands on. First year apprentices, it's all safety, certification. We
What do you offer? OSHA 30 hour typically, or
we do OSHA 30, first aid, CPR, AED, rigging, signaling. We aerial lift, power industrial truck. We have a lot for a first year apprentice, in a short time to get it done. That's why I've pushed it with our guys. Hey, you need to be in class. You need to be here. You need to be awake and ready to go with an open mind. So.
and I know some of the contractors, roofing contractors out there, and I mean they have the top of the line safety equipment too.
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to be getting on a roof without having a harness and being tied off, because
Knowing how to use it, set it up.
yeah, learn how to use it, how to set it up, how to wear it properly.
Yep.
Because I mean, the reality is if you fall off the roof and you're not tied off,
Yep.
chances are of getting seriously hurt.
Yep.
You
How I like to look at it is when we get our new guys, they get the rough draft from the employer. When they get with me, now I get to break it down just a little bit finer. I get to work into it. I get a little more time to work with it, I should say. To work with, hey, how to inspect a safety harness, how to properly fit it, how to use it, the different types of fall protection, fall arrest, all of it. Whereas our contractor, hey, their main thing is, hey, let's get them trained so they know how to use it, they know what to look for, and get them on a job. I get to take a little more time to go over it, why you need it, the best scenario, the worst case scenario, boom, type of situations. So
You kind of talked a little bit about the first year, what they're doing, mostly, a lot of safety training, signaling, maybe some rigging hand signals to, communicate with the crane operators and things like that to bring whatever materials up onto the roof that they're working at. Now, how about as you advance into the programming, what are your third and fourth year students doing while they're coming into the school? Is there any like book learning, or is it mostly hands-on learning in the apprenticeship school?
No, we have book work as well. We're kind of, we have our book work and then we have our shop work. We do both. To get to the hands-on, to the shop work, we're going through the book work first. I try to keep everything broke down into segments as I'm starting out here. My first year guys, we're going to learn how to tear off a roof, how to prep it, get it insulated, all this other stuff. And I just kind of work it up in steps as far as the different roofing products, different materials, different ways to use them. And use
How about like estimating quantities? Do you guys go through that through your apprenticeship? So there's a little, particularly ninth grade math.
Yeah. We get into that with our third to fourth year apprenticeship classes. I work real close with our international guys, our international training fund and stuff. And they come through and do what is a foreman's training for the third and fourth year apprentices. And there's quite a bit of math. And then that's it's how much material are you going to need? This is the measurements you're going to use to get them, to get the square footage. We touch on that throughout the apprenticeship as well as on the job. But it's really concentrated through the third to fourth year of apprenticeship class to get them ready for, we're fixing to be done with class time. I want to progress. I don't want to just stay a journeyman. I want to move up the food chain. I want to run a crew. I possibly want to get into the office, to be an estimator, to be a project manager.
Company truck.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So how is the pay broken down? I imagine first year you get a percentage of what the journeyman rate is, kind of like the other trades.
Yeah, first year, a first year apprenticeship coming in. I got to look at my little notes here.
That's fine.
You come in at 55% journeyman's rate. So on the check, you're looking at $21.25 an hour. Coming in, not
5% of the journeyman, $21.
Yes. So, and as I said earlier, 1,200 hours, you change pay tier. Your second year, you're at 23.18. Third year's 27.05. Fourth year would be 30.91, and fifth tier is 34.78. So, but a lot of our guys, I should say, before the end of the fourth year of apprenticeship, they're at full journeyman scale, which is 38.64 an hour. And that's just what you're seeing on your check.
Yeah, that doesn't include your benefit package, which includes a health and welfare and some sort of retirement, which I believe is a defined benefit program that you have over there at the local 26.
Yeah, we run our $4.50 goes to your pension, and we also run a supplemental. Then there's $7 that goes toward the supplemental as well.
And that's all, and that is paid directly by the contractor on top of your wage. So
Top of your wage. It's like an additional 21 21 and change, I believe it is,
for the total benefit
for
package.
the total, yeah, for total package.
So, would you say your journeyman rate was 40,
It's 38.64.
38 plus the
38.64.
21? You're looking at, 40, 50, $60 an hour.
Yeah, full scale once you complete the program. I should
And,
say
there's probably,
the
there's probably a
training.
lot of young high school, students joining us, and I don't think they understand the importance of health insurance.
Yep.
But the costs for healthcare in this country are, it seems like every year they just keep going up.
Yep.
And I don't think they realize the benefit of, having the contractor pay for, their insurance plan,
Yep.
and their premiums.
Yep.
And I remember when I worked a job before, I was working at Menards when I was young, and, I had to pay out of pocket expenses for my insurance. So, I was getting like $500 every 2 weeks on my paycheck, and like 150 were going towards insurance. So,
Once they start nickeling and diming you away,
yeah,
it takes away.
it's a
from
great
the pocket.
benefit. And I just want to get that point across is, and it's not only the roofers, but all the trades have something similar.
Yeah.
Where, the contractor, it's through the collective bargaining agreements, that the contractor pays for that. And then the retirement as well. I know some people who have retired from the trades, and they are, making, upwards of $5,000 a month in retirement because of, the hours they worked while they worked, and the years that they worked. And, they put in a lot of time and effort to get that, but they're living a comfortable living in retirement.
Yes, sir.
When can you, what's the earliest you say? I got in when I was 18 as a roofer.
Mhm.
What's the earliest you can retire? Is there some kind of formula?
That goes with our supplemental setup, where you can go out. Retirement is 60 years old. With the supplemental, the way it is set up, you can go at 55 and draw the supplemental and not touch your regular pension until 60. So it holds you over till you collect your regular pension.
Now,
It's a
do you guys have an annuity? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a well thought out plan. Roofing's hard. It's hard on your body. And to go past 55 years old is there's guys out there that do it that have no problem, and then there's guys that don't. But hey, 55, I'm done. So, but yeah, the annuity and stuff. Like I said, I'm new to this part, so but yeah, it's all set up. We do have annuity, which comes out, but I'll have to look that one up for you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So not only do you have a defined benefit pension, but there's also a supplemental annuity program.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and that's pretty similar to most of the other trades. And I think for the annuity program, I think you could even voluntarily kick in some extra money if you really want to as well. So, which is, I would recommend anybody doing, because, the more you
Never have enough saved up.
yeah, you can never have enough saved up. That's for sure.
No.
So is there anything that an applicant can do in high school right now to prepare for getting into the roofers? Is there any classes that they might want to take? Any programs that are offered that you would recommend that a high school student would take to, have a better chance of getting accepted into the program?
I would say, hey, make sure you're there at school. Get used to doing what's expected of you. You're expected to go to school every day and learn. It's the same thing in the real world. Concentrate a little more on the math type classes, and the sports. You want to be physically fit. It'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah, you had mentioned, showing up to school and doing the work.
Yep.
And I think, people don't realize when they're in high school how important, that, not being tardy is, because I've talked to, and I'm sure it's the same way with your trustees who interview the people. They look at, you know, maybe they look at the high school transcripts and they might see a couple, you know, B's and C's.
Mhm.
They're going to kind of focus on, you know, how many days were you absent?
Yeah.
Because that kind of reflects on if whether you're not going to show up on the job. And it's important for people to show up on the job, because when you don't, it's a detriment to the rest of your crew.
Yep.
It's a detriment to the contractor because they're expecting your labor for that day to help them, you know, meet their goals of the schedule. So
They're all on a time schedule, time frame. They're counting on 10 people to be there to perform the work. And only 9 show up or 8 show up. That's not very reliable. You know, we don't as tradesmen and myself, we don't like that. Now we gotta, on a crew, roofing's a lot of crew work. You're pushing your work off on the other guys of the crew. And it's just not, to me, it's not right. You know, you hired in, you make a good wage, get here and earn it. So that's kind of my outlook.
So obviously most of your work is going to be outside.
Yes.
What happens in the winter? Do you guys slow down quite a bit during the winter? Are you more of a seasonal where you're working?
We slow down a little in the winter.
Yeah.
A lot of our contractors still push on. Hot or cold, we're out there roofing. As long as it is not dangerously cold or something like that, our guys are out there putting in their time.
Well, I imagine, yeah, you know, an owner, you know, has a leak in their roof, or, you know, something's going wrong with their roof. They're going to need somebody out there ASAP to fix the problem. Yep. Rain, snow, sleet, sunshine, they're going to have it done. So,
yep. I like to say that with the roofing industry, we have about 2 weeks of absolute perfect weather a year, to where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's not too sunny, it's not too cloudy, and that's it. So
yeah, I know those two weeks are probably in August.
Yeah. So
okay, well, I mean, I don't really think I have too many other questions. Let me see if there's any questions that came through the chat. I don't see any right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else any last words that you want to give to our audience about the roofers, or any you know, where they can find more information?
You can find information obviously on our website, or if you're around the Maryville area and you want to stop in and chat, I'm more than willing to stop in and chat with you.
So that's a good point. So if they give you a call, they can make an appointment to come view your training center and learn a little bit more about the program one-on-one. You'll offer that?
Yes, sir. Yep. Anybody that wants to stop in, I'm here Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to about 3:30.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Jeremy with the roofers, Jeremy Adams. On your closing screen, I did put the web address, and then there's a phone number. And if you look over that phone number, does that go straight to you?
Yes, that goes right here to my office.
So yeah, just call that number, ask for Jeremy if Jeremy doesn't answer, and I'm sure he would be glad to you know, hook you up and give you a tour of the facility out there in Maryville. I should also mention that the WeBuildNorthwestIndiana.com website has information on not only the roofers, but all of the other trades that are available to work in Northwest Indiana. And then the Center of Workforce Innovations has adult learning centers. So for those of you who might need to brush up on your math, it doesn't sound like the roofers have like a general aptitude test, but I think some of the other trades do. So, but it's always a good idea to brush up your math skills. So that information is right here. Just go to cwicore.com, and then there's a phone number you could call to find out more information. And also in the chat function, the Center of Workforce Innovations went ahead and put the contact information for Jeremy and the We Build Northwest Indiana website. So Jeremy, thanks for your time today. I appreciate it. A lot of great information. I know it's
No problem.
got several friends in the roofers, and they make a great living, and they really love what they do because everything, you know, every day is a little bit different for them. And
Yeah.
what they really
I think that's a big plus with the roofing. We're never at one spot for too long.
yeah.
You can see a lot of different
Well,
things.
I mean, I guess it's with all the trades, you're constantly working yourself out of a job because once that job's complete,
Yep.
you have to go to another one. So,
Yes, sir. And
all right.
so,
Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate everything.
not a problem. No problem. Anytime.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.